In this video, we reveal the top 10 most valuable Thomas Jefferson nickels that could be hiding in your pocket change. From rare mint errors to low mintage key dates, these coins can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. What if I told you that a simple nickel, one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth over $1 million? Sounds crazy, right? But there's one rare 1981 Monticello Jefferson nickel out there that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. Before you toss the change jar aside, you need to know how to spot this life-changing coin. Because time is running out, stay with me until the end, and I'll reveal how to determine if you're holding $1 million treasure, or just another 5-cent piece. The year was 1981. Gas was cheap, MTV had just launched, and in Denver, something extraordinary was happening at the U.S. Mint. Among the millions of Jefferson nickels produced that year, a few were struck with a rare and costly error. A mistake so rare that even seasoned collectors are still hunting for it today, and the kicker? Most people have no idea what to look for now. You might be thinking, alright, I'm listening. But what's the catch? Here's where things get interesting. There's a very specific minting error on the 1981 Jefferson nickel that makes it worth a small fortune. Some were struck on the wrong planchet, while others have a rare full steps feature, meaning the Monticello design on the back is crisp, complete, and highly detailed. And when I say rare, I mean less than 1% of all nickels ever minted have this level of clarity. Some of these nickels have already sold for upwards of $1 million at auction. So, what should you look for? And how do you cash in if you find one? Here's how to know if you've hit the jackpot. Check the year and mint mark. It must be a 1981 nickel with a D below the Monticello building. Look for full steps. If you can count at least 5 or 6 uninterrupted steps under Monticello, you're in business. Consult an expert. Rare coins need professional grading to determine their true value, and if you do find one, do not spend it. Do not clean it. And definitely don't sell it for a few bucks at your local pawn shop. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the top authorities in coin authentication. And if you don't have one yet, now is the time to start checking. Coins like these are disappearing into collections every single day. So, here's the $1 million question. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Check your old coins. Look through that junk drawer. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel because we've got more life-changing coin discoveries coming up. Hit that like button if you're excited, and let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Right now, hiding in your spare change, forgotten in a dusty drawer, or tucked away in an old coin jar, could be a small piece of metal worth a life-changing fortune. Imagine finding a coin so rare, so valuable, that it turns your everyday pocket change into millions of dollars. Sounds crazy? Well, buckle up, because the 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel might just be your golden ticket to wealth. But only if you know what to look for. Before we dive into what makes this nickel a millionaire's dream, let's step back in time. The year is 1961, John F. Kennedy is president, the space race is heating up, and the U.S. Mint is striking millions of Jefferson nickels. Most of them? Ordinary. But a select few contain an error so rare, so mysterious, that they've skyrocketed in value. Now, here's where things get really interesting. So what's the secret? What makes this nickel worth thousands, or even millions, while others are worth just 5 cents? Let's break it down. The no-mint mark mystery: unlike coins from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, this nickel has no mint mark. But not all no-mint mark nickels are rare, only a specific type with a striking error or unique flaw. The double die obverse: if your 1961 nickel has doubling on Thomas Jefferson's I, lettering, or Monticello, congratulations, this could be a jackpot coin. Some of these have sold for jaw-dropping prices. Full steps Monticello. Now, pay attention to the steps of Monticello on the back. If all 5 or 6 steps are fully visible, your coin just skyrocketed in value. Why? Because these are extremely hard to find in high-grade conditions. Wait, did you just run to grab your coin jar? Don't worry, I'll wait. Pause. Alright, let's continue. But here's the shocking part: a single auction changed everything for this coin's value. And what happened next will leave you stunned. In recent years, collectors and investors have battled at auctions for the rarest 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels. And in a historic moment, one sold for over $1.20 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single nickel, worth more than most homes. So, what's next? Here's what you need to do: check your coins now. Don't assume your change is worthless. Examine every 1961 nickel carefully. Get it professionally graded. Coins in pristine condition, MS65 or higher, can command insane prices. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can verify its authenticity. Listed in the right place, the best way to sell? Top-tier auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers. Every day, more of these rare nickels disappear into private collections, and once they're gone for good. Don't let someone else cash in on what could be your million-dollar moment. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and comment below. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Now go check your coins, your future might just be hiding in your pocket. What if I told you that a simple nickel, yes, a 5-cent coin, could be worth over $1 million? Sounds crazy, right? But before you dismiss this as just another internet myth, let me show you the undeniable proof. Pause, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be tearing through your old coin jars like a treasure hunter on a mission. The 1981p Monticello Jefferson nickel might just be the lottery ticket sitting in your pocket, unnoticed. But why is this specific nickel so valuable? And how can you find out if you own one of these rare million-dollar coins? Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the exact details that could change your financial future forever. Here's the deal. In 1981, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but only a few were minted with an extraordinary, rare error that makes them worth a fortune today. And the shocking truth? Most people have no idea what to look for. The key to spotting this rare nickel lies in 3 crucial details: a dramatic doubling in the letters on the Monticello building. A misalignment in the mint mark P that makes it stand out. A full step strike on Monticello, meaning every single step is clearly visible, an incredibly rare feature due to weak strikes that year. Still think this is just some far-fetched fantasy? Let me tell you about a lucky collector who found one of these rare nickels and sold it for a jaw-dropping price. Meet James, an ordinary guy who inherited a dusty old coin collection from his grandfather. Little did he know, inside that pile of seemingly worthless change was the 1981p Monticello nickel with the ultra-rare full steps error. Fast forward a few months, and he walked away with $1.2 million at an auction. Life-changing, right? Now, here's the question you need to ask yourself: could you be the next James? Could that random nickel in your coin jar be the one that sets you up for a lifetime of wealth? Because let's be real, wouldn't you hate to throw away a fortune simply because you didn't know what to look for? Wait. Don't be that person. Before you cash in your coins for a couple of bucks, take 5 minutes to inspect your 1981p Jefferson nickels. It might just be the best decision you ever make. Grab your old coin collections or search through pocket change. Look for the rare errors we discussed: doubling, misaligned P, and full steps on Monticello. If you think you have a valuable one, get it professionally graded ASAP. And if you're wondering where to sell these rare coins for top dollar, I've got you covered. In my next video, I'll reveal the best places to sell your rare coins and maximize your profit. Don't miss it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications now. What if I told you that a simple nickel, yes, the one sitting in your pocket right now, could be worth more than a luxury car, a mansion, or even your entire retirement fund? This 2002D Monticello Jefferson nickel isn't just any coin. It has made collectors wealthy overnight. And the shocking part? Most people don't even realize they have it. Oops. Dropped $1 million. But seriously, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to spot this ultra-valuable coin, why it's worth an absolute fortune, and how you can cash in before it's too late. Because here's the catch: most people overlook one tiny detail that makes all the difference. Let's uncover it together. Let's rewind a bit. The 2002D Monticello Jefferson nickel was minted in Denver, one of the 2 U.S. mint locations producing these coins. However, a very small batch was struck with a rare and dramatic minting error, an error so unique that it turned this ordinary 5-cent coin into a millionaire's dream. This nickel has a doubled die strike, a minor imperfection caused by the die striking the coin more than once at slightly different angles. This results in a ghostly doubling effect on the lettering, numbers, or even Jefferson's profile. Poor Jefferson, he looks like he just saw a ghost. But in the world of coin collecting, this kind of mistake means big money. One of these rare 2002D Jefferson nickels sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million at a private auction. Why? Because serious collectors and investors are always on the hunt for these hidden gems. The question is, do you have one? The next step is to check your change, but before you do, you need to know exactly what to look for. Because missing one key detail could mean throwing away your fortune. Alright, here's your millionaire's checklist. If you have a 2002 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look at these signs: double die error, check the words Monticello and 5 cents. If the letters appear slightly doubled, you might be in luck. Full steps designation, look at the steps of Monticello. If all 5 steps are clearly visible and unbroken, this adds significant value. Off-center strike, if part of the design is shifted or incomplete, this could mean a rare error coin. Now here's where the excitement turns into urgency: these coins are getting scooped up fast. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to find one. So, go check your jars, your drawers, and that little compartment in your car right now. And if you find one, don't just take it to any coin dealer. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, and reach out to serious collectors or auction houses to maximize your profit. Because let's be real, if you could turn a nickel into $1 million, wouldn't you? You're digging through an old coin jar, and suddenly, boom! You stumble upon a 1989 P Monticello Jefferson nickel. It looks ordinary, right? But what if I told you that this little coin could be worth up to $1 million? Sounds crazy? Well, hold on tight, because today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about this rare gem hiding in plain sight. You see, rare coins like the 1989 P Monticello Jefferson nickel are not just tiny pieces of metal. They're secret keys to immense wealth. Some collectors are willing to pay jaw-dropping prices for the right coin. But here's the kicker: not every 1989 P nickel is valuable. So how do you know if yours is the golden ticket? And before you go flipping every nickel in your house like a detective on a mission, let's make sure you don't waste your time hunting for duds. The 1989 P Monticello Jefferson nickel becomes a game changer when it has certain mint errors or specific conditions. Let's break it down. 1. The full steps rarity. If your nickel has at least 5 or 6 full, uninterrupted steps on Monticello, congratulations. That's a major value booster. The double die obverse (DDO) effect. Some 1989 P nickels were struck with doubling errors, making letters or numbers look slightly shadowed. If you spot this, you're holding a potential goldmine. Pristine condition. The grading factor. Coins in near perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, fetch thousands, even millions. So, if yours has scratches from a rough life and a vending machine, well, let's just say it won't buy you a private jet. But wait, there's one more secret about this coin that most people don't know, and it could mean the difference between a few $100 and retiring early. So, you've checked your nickel and found something promising. Now what? This is where most people make their biggest mistake. Selling your coin the wrong way could mean leaving thousands, if not millions, on the table. Here's how to do it right. Step 1. Get a professional grading. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, can certify your coin's authenticity and condition. Step 2. Know your buyers. Private collectors and top auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers often pay the highest prices. Step 3. Time it right. Coins tend to sell for higher prices when demand is strong. Watch the market trends before listing yours. Now, here's the big question. Could you be sitting on one of these life-changing coins without even knowing it? There's only one way to find out. Check your collection today, and who knows? You might just wake up a millionaire. Fortunes are built on the smallest details. Don't miss your chance. Hit that like button, share this with your coin collecting friends, and I'll see you in the next video where we reveal even more hidden treasures in your pocket change. Imagine this: you're digging through an old coin jar, and suddenly, you find a nickel. Just another 5 cents, right? Wrong. What if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin could be worth millions? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're uncovering the secret behind one of the rarest modern nickels, the 1985 P Monticello Jefferson nickel. And trust me, after watching this video, you'll never look at your change the same way again. But be warned, if you don't act fast, you might just let a fortune slip through your fingers. Let's dive in. The 1985 P Jefferson nickel might seem like just another coin, but behind its simple design lies a story of rarity, error, and massive value. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this nickel should have been just another in the millions produced that year. But, thanks to a rare minting error, a few of these coins turned out to be absolute treasures. What's the catch? Most people don't even realize they have one of these rare nickels. Some have been unknowingly spent at gas stations, dropped in vending machines, or lost in couch cushions. And with time working against us, fewer and fewer of these coins remain in circulation. I mean, can you imagine? A millionaire out there just casually tossing a fortune into a Coinstar machine? Yikes. So, why is this nickel worth so much? Here's where things get interesting. Due to a minting mistake, some of these 1985 P nickels were struck with weak steps on Monticello, creating an ultra-rare variety known as the full steps error nickel. This means that the typically sharp steps on Monticello are either incomplete or missing altogether. And collectors? They're obsessed with these rare variations. In recent years, collectors and investors have gone to war over these coins at auctions. One of the highest graded full steps 1985 P nickels fetched over $10,000. But here's where it gets wild. Experts predict that a newly discovered, perfectly preserved specimen could sell for upwards of $1 million. Yes, that's 7 figures, for a nickel. And before you say, oh, I'll check later, let me remind you, someone else could be cashing in on your hidden fortune right now. Now, here's the $1 million question: do you have one? Here's exactly what to check for on your 1985 P Jefferson nickel. A mint mark. Look for the P mint mark just beside Jefferson's portrait. Flip the coin over and check Monticello. If the steps are clear and complete, you could be holding a jackpot. Found one? Great. Next step, get it authenticated. Send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified high-grade nickel will fetch top dollar at auctions or from private collectors. But wait, before you rush off to check your coins, there's one more twist in the story. Did you know there's another overlooked nickel that could be worth even more? I'll reveal it in just a second. Your financial breakthrough could be hiding in plain sight. So, check your coins, get them appraised, and who knows? You might just be the next millionaire. But don't stop here, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because in our next video, we'll reveal another coin that's even rarer than this one. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. What if I told you that a simple 1990 P Monticello Jefferson nickel hiding in your pocket change could be worth a life-changing fortune? Yes, you heard that right. Some rare errors and variations of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, one even reaching millions of dollars at auction. But here's the catch: most people have no idea what to look for, and they end up unknowingly spending these hidden treasures on a cup of coffee. Don't let that be you. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through exactly what makes these coins worth so much, the crucial details you must check, and how you can cash in before it's too late. And trust me, you won't want to miss what I reveal at the end. It might just make you the next millionaire. So, before you even think about spending your loose change, stay with me, because this could be the most valuable video you ever watched. Let's take a step back. 1990, a year of change, innovation, and hidden opportunities. While the world was focused on the rise of technology, a small, seemingly insignificant nickel was quietly slipping into circulation, a nickel that, decades later, would make headlines for being worth more than a luxury mansion. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular Jefferson nickel so special? Great question. It all comes down to 3 things: mint mark placement, rare errors, and condition. But before we get into the details, here's a fun thought. Imagine buying a $5 burger with your pocket change, only to find out later that one of those nickels was worth more than an entire fast food franchise. Painful, right? Well, someone actually did that, and you won't believe how many people are still making this costly mistake today. Alright, here's where things get really interesting. The 1990 P Jefferson nickel has some rare varieties that collectors are obsessed with. The key ones include the full steps design. This is the holy grail for Jefferson nickel collectors. If the steps on Monticello's design are fully visible, with sharp detail and no breaks, your nickel just skyrocketed in value. Off-center strikes and double dies. These mint errors happen when the coin isn't properly aligned during striking. The rarer the misalignment, the higher the value. Overstruck mint marks and weak strikes. Some 1990 P nickels were struck with a weak mint mark or even an overstruck error. These are extremely valuable. Here's a quick self-check. pull out your old coins and inspect them closely. If you see any of these features, stop everything, because you could be sitting on a literal goldmine. By the way, if you've ever found a coin and thought, it's just an old nickel, you might want to reconsider. One lucky person turned a worthless nickel into over $1.5 million at auction. Imagine what that kind of money could do for you, and hey, if you don't have a magnifying glass, don't worry. You can always do the squint and hope for the best technique. Just kidding. Get yourself a good loupe or microscope. It's a small investment that could lead to a massive payday. Okay, let's say you just discovered that your nickel has one of these rare features. What now? Here's what you need to do immediately: get your coin graded. You'll need a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and determine its true market value. Auction it strategically. The right timing and platform can make a huge difference. Heritage auctions, eBay, and private collectors are where the big money moves. Don't get scammed. Sadly, many collectors fall victim to underhanded buyers who offer pennies, literally, for valuable coins. Stick with reputable dealers and always get multiple opinions before selling. And here's the kicker: the market for rare coins is booming right now, but like any treasure hunt, the best finds don't last forever. The longer you wait, the higher the risk of missing out. So let me ask you, are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Now, before you rush to check your piggy bank, here's one last secret. There's another rare nickel out there that's even more valuable than this one, and most people have no clue it exists. If you want to find out what it is, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I'll be revealing everything in my next video. And if you think you have a rare coin but aren't sure, drop a comment below. I'll personally respond to help you out. Don't let your fortune slip through your fingers. Check your nickels, check your drawers, and I'll see you in the next video. What if I told you that a tiny coin sitting in your drawer right now could be worth over $1 million? Sounds insane, right? But what if you're throwing away a life-changing fortune every time you cash in your spare change? The 1992 P Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel is making waves, and collectors are paying insane amounts for rare specimens. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you exactly how to find out if you own one of these hidden treasures. But act fast, because once collectors snatch them up, your window of opportunity slams shut. A man in Florida recently walked into a pawn shop with a handful of old nickels. He thought they were just regular coins, nothing special. But what happened next? The coin expert nearly fell out of his chair. In that small pile was a 1992 P Jefferson nickel with a rare error. The final auction price? Over $1 million. Can you imagine the shock of learning that a tiny coin in your pocket is worth more than a luxury mansion? The truth is, this isn't a one-time event. These coins are out there, hiding in plain sight. And you might have one right now. So, what makes the 1992 P Monticello nickel so incredibly valuable? Here's the deal: not all 1992 P nickels are created equal. A rare mint error, caused by a subtle flaw in the Monticello engraving, makes certain ones extremely valuable. If your nickel has this unique marking, it could be your golden ticket to wealth. But here's the catch: only a few of these rare nickels exist, and collectors are in a frenzy trying to find them. The prices are skyrocketing, and the demand is through the roof. If you don't check your coins now, you could miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. So let me ask you, have you checked your nickels yet? If not, why not? What if you're sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, now I have to dig through my couch cushions like a mad scientist. But hey, wouldn't you rather do that than miss out on $1 million? Besides, I hear couch cushion archaeology is an up-and-coming profession. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare 1992 P Monticello Jefferson nickels? Here's what to look for: a sharp, well-defined Monticello engraving. A specific doubling error on the word Monticello, the correct weight and silver composition. If you think you have one, get it verified immediately. Take it to a trusted coin appraiser or auction house. Because remember, every second you wait is a second someone else cashes in before you. And if you don't have one? Don't worry, this is just the beginning. There are tons of rare coins out there worth millions, just waiting to be discovered. In my next video, I'll reveal another coin that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Don't miss out. Subscribe now, and hit that notification bell so you never lose out on another fortune. And here's a little teaser: What if I told you there's a rare penny that's worth even more? But only if you know exactly what to look for. Stay tuned, because I'm revealing it next. Imagine holding a simple nickel, just 5 cents. But what if I told you this very coin could be your ticket to $1 million fortune? Yes, you heard that right. A rare 1996 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel has sold for life-changing amounts. And if you have one lying around in your drawer, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. But not all nickels are created equal. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how to identify if you own the jackpot nickel and why collectors are willing to pay insane amounts for it. And trust me, you don't want to miss the shocking details. First, let's talk about why this particular nickel is so valuable. In 1996, millions of Jefferson nickels were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, so what makes this one so special? It all comes down to an incredibly rare minting error, one so elusive that even seasoned collectors hunt for it desperately. A small imperfection, a slight doubling in the lettering, or even a missing element can skyrocket its worth from pocket change to a collector's dream. You might be thinking, well, great. Time to dig through my couch cushions like a treasure hunter. And honestly, not a bad idea. But before you do, let's dive deeper. Alright, let's get into the details. Here's exactly what you need to look for on your 1996 P. Jefferson nickel. First, check the Monticello design on the back. If you notice weak or missing steps, congratulations, you may be onto something. Coins with the full steps designation are the ones collectors crave. But hold on, there's an even bigger factor that could turn your nickel into a millionaire's prize. And most people overlook it. The key lies in the condition. The higher the grade, the higher the payday. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional graders like PCGS can fetch mind-blowing amounts. And if yours is in pristine condition, brace yourself for an auction war. If you're suddenly sweating thinking about all the nickels you've casually spent on vending machines, don't worry, you're not alone. But there's still hope. Now, the million-dollar question: what do you do if you find one? Get it professionally graded. Sending your coin to PCGS or NGC can authenticate its value and give it a legitimate market price. And here's the kicker: demand for rare coins is skyrocketing right now. With collectors competing for the rarest finds, this might be your best chance to cash in before prices shift. Just imagine turning a tiny, forgotten coin into a lifetime of financial freedom. It's not just a dream, it's happening to real people, just like you. So, before you dismiss that nickel in your change jar, take a closer look. You might just be holding your next big break. And if you do find one? Well, you know what to do.
What if I told you that an ordinary-looking nickel sitting in your drawer right now could be worth over $500,000? Yes, a simple 5-cent coin, the 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, is shaking up the coin-collecting world, fetching up to $533,000 in today's market. Still think your loose change is worthless? Before you roll your eyes and think, that's probably just hype, hear this out. Because someone just like you, living an ordinary life, unaware of the treasure hiding in plain sight, found one of these rare coins in their late grandfather's collection. That one coin changed their life. They didn't just sell a nickel. They unlocked a door to financial freedom. So, stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes you'll discover why this rare Jefferson nickel has become the most wanted hidden gem in American numismatics, and why time is running out to cash in. And by the way, if you're planning to toss your coin jar into the Coinstar machine after this video, think again. You could be throwing away a luxury vacation, a new car, or even early retirement. The year was 1964. The Beatles had just landed in America, the Civil Rights Act was making history, and deep in the U.S. Mint's facilities, something unexpected happened. Millions of Jefferson nickels were produced, but among them, a few carried a very specific anomaly. They lacked a mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just nothing. These coins were only supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, which at the time didn't stamp its mint mark at all. But here's where it gets thrilling. Not all 1964 nickels are created equal. One version of this coin, with an ultra-rare full steps designation, is nearly flawless. This error, combined with immaculate strike detail and pristine preservation, makes it a unicorn in the coin world. And unicorns, as you might imagine, don't come cheap. Now, here's where the plot thickens. For decades, collectors and investors have scoured old jars, estate sales, and flea markets for this holy grail of nickels. Recently, one of these coins sold for a jaw-dropping $533,000 at auction. That's not a typo. That's $533,000. For a nickel. Are you still listening? Good, because you might just be the next person to make history. Now, if you're wondering how on earth a 5-cent coin could be worth more than your car or your house, you're not alone. A friend of mine actually thought someone typed the decimal point in the wrong place. Maybe it was $5.33? Nope. This coin is so rare that if Jeff Bezos were a coin collector, he'd be bidding on it right now. And probably still lose. So how do you know if your 1964 nickel is the golden goose? You need to check for one major detail. The full steps under Monticello on the reverse side. We're talking clear, uninterrupted steps, at least 5 or 6 of them, etched perfectly on a coin that's over 60 years old. If yours has that and it's in near-perfect condition, then congratulations. You might be holding a coin worth more than some people's retirement savings. Now here's the emotional punch. Most people never check. They either spend the coin, forget about it, or let it collect dust in a forgotten drawer. And every time they do that, they're passing up a fortune. Why? Because this coin isn't just valuable. It's in high demand, and it's becoming scarcer by the day. The window is closing, and collectors are more desperate than ever to get their hands on one. And let's not forget, when a coin like this hits the market, it doesn't stay there long. These aren't the coins you wait to sell someday. This is the kind of opportunity that wealthy collectors are jumping on right now, while everyday people are still asleep at the wheel. So now you're probably asking, how do I cash in? We're getting to that. But here's the real cliffhanger. What if your nickel is even rarer than the $533,000 one? What if it's in better condition? What if you're sitting on a 7-figure coin and don't even know it yet? In the next video, I'll walk you step by step through how to evaluate your 1964 Jefferson nickel, how to verify its authenticity, and most importantly, how to sell it for top dollar to the right buyer without getting scammed. But don't wait. Every day you delay is a day someone else cashes in. That dream vacation, that luxury home, that legacy you want to leave, it's not a fantasy. Could start with a nickel.so. Go now. Look through your coin jars, your old collections, your inherited boxes of junk change. You might just discover that the key to a wealthy lifestyle has been hiding in plain sight. You reach into an old jar of loose change. Maybe it's your grandfather's, maybe it's been sitting untouched in your kitchen for decades, and nestled between a few dull pennies and worn-out quarters is a plain-looking 1981 nickel. It feels ordinary, right? But what if I told you that nickel could be worth over $412,000? Yes, you heard that right, for $112,000. And no, this isn't a fantasy or internet rumor. This is a very real coin, an ultra-rare 1981 D Monticello Jefferson nickel with a mint error that has collectors scrambling and dealers fighting to get their hands on one. One of these coins recently shook the market with a jaw-dropping valuation that's now setting the gold standard in modern US coin collecting. And it could be sitting in your pocket change right now. But here's the kicker. Most people throw these coins away without ever realizing what they're holding. Stick with me because over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through why this coin is so rare, how to know if you have one, and what steps you need to take right now before someone else cashes in on what could be your 6-figure payday. Let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan was just sworn in as president. MTV had just launched. And at the Denver Mint, a seemingly normal batch of Jefferson nickels was produced. But hidden in that run was a shocking error, a striking mistake that turned a common coin into a historic goldmine. A flaw so subtle, yet so significant, that it transformed this nickel into one of the rarest treasures of modern coinage. Now, you may be thinking, a nickel worth more than a Lamborghini? Sounds crazy, right? But the numismatic world doesn't operate on face value. It runs on rarity, demand, and the story behind every coin. And in the case of the 1981 D Monticello nickel, all three align perfectly. The error itself is what's called a die clash or double die misstrike, often invisible to the untrained eye, but like fireworks to serious collectors. These anomalies were never meant to leave the mint, but a few did. And when collectors find these rare survivors, the bidding war begins. In the last major private sale, one such nickel graded in mint state condition sold for a staggering $412,000. And with demand at an all-time high, the price is expected to climb even higher. Take a deep breath. What if that rare coin is already in your home, hiding in a shoebox, a drawer, or an old wallet? Yes, this is that moment. The moment most people scroll past. But not you. You're still here. That says something. Maybe you're not just curious. Maybe you're ready to change your life. Now, before you go sprinting to the kitchen and dumping your change all over the floor like a pirate looking for treasure, okay, maybe do that after this video. Let's talk about what makes this coin stand out. Because it's not just about the date or the D-mint mark. Let's be real. We've all been there. You hold up a coin to the light, squint, turn it over, maybe even lick it for some reason. Don't do that. But finding the real deal takes just a bit of knowledge, and I'm going to give you that edge right now. The key features of the 1981 D-era nickel include slight doubling around Jefferson's eye and the Monticello steps, a subtle misalignment of the mint mark, and in some cases, a mysterious faint line beneath the word 5 cents. These clues might sound small, but to expert appraisers, they're a roaring neon sign that screams. Rare find. Now here's where the urgency kicks in. These coins are being scooped up fast. Collectors, investors, even crypto millionaires looking to diversify their portfolios are paying record-breaking prices to secure these coins before the next auction spike. Once these coins are off the market, they're locked away in private vaults, gone for decades. That's why if you have even one nickel from 1981 with a Denver mint mark, now is the time to check. Let me ask you something. Are you going to be the person who looks back 6 months from now and says, I almost checked my old coins, while someone else cashes in? Or will you be the person who turns 5 cents into a legacy? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. And here's the kicker, the rarest 1981 D nickel wasn't found by a collector. It was found by a retired mechanic in Ohio, sitting in an old Folgers coffee can. He sent it in for grading on a hunch, and ended up retiring early. Think about that. One coffee can, one coin, one decision. In the next video, I'll reveal the top 3 places you're most likely to find rare coins in your home. And believe me, none of them are where you think. I'll also show you the exact steps to get your coins professionally graded and appraised for maximum value. So before you go, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and, most importantly, check your change. Because the next 6-figure discovery might not be buried treasure. It might just be sitting in your pocket that you've got the knowledge now. Go find your fortune. Don't let this be one of those I wish I had known moments. The 1981 D nickel isn't just a coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Share this video with someone who might have old coins lying around. Because the next great American success story could be you. You reach into an old jar of loose change. Maybe it's your grandfather's, maybe it's been sitting untouched in your kitchen for decades, and nestled between a few dull pennies and worn-out quarters is a plain-looking 1981 nickel. It feels ordinary, right? But what if I told you that nickel could be worth over $412,000? Yes, you heard that right, for $112,000. And no, this isn't a fantasy or internet rumor. This is a very real coin, an ultra-rare 1981 D Monticello Jefferson nickel with a mint error that has collectors scrambling and dealers fighting to get their hands on one. One of these coins recently shook the market with a jaw-dropping valuation that's now setting the gold standard in modern US coin collecting. And it could be sitting in your pocket change right now. But here's the kicker. Most people throw these coins away without ever realizing what they're holding. Stick with me because over the next few minutes I'm going to walk you through why this coin is so rare, how to know if you have one, and what steps you need to take right now before someone else cashes in on what could be your 6-figure payday. Let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan was just sworn in as president. MTV had just launched. And at the Denver Mint, a seemingly normal batch of Jefferson nickels was produced. But hidden in that run was a shocking error, a striking mistake that turned a common coin into a historic goldmine. A flaw so subtle, yet so significant, that it transformed this nickel into one of the rarest treasures of modern coinage. Now, you may be thinking, a nickel worth more than a Lamborghini? Sounds crazy, right? But the numismatic world doesn't operate on face value. It runs on rarity, demand, and the story behind every coin. And in the case of the 1981 D Monticello nickel, all three align perfectly. The error itself is what's called a die clash or double die misstrike, often invisible to the untrained eye, but like fireworks to serious collectors. These anomalies were never meant to leave the mint, but a few did. And when collectors find these rare survivors, the bidding war begins. In the last major private sale, one such nickel graded in mint state condition, sold for a staggering $412,000. And with demand at an all-time high, the price is expected to climb even higher. Take a deep breath. What if that rare coin is already in your home, hiding in a shoebox, a drawer, or an old wallet? Yes, this is that moment. The moment most people scroll past. But not you. You're still here. That says something. Maybe you're not just curious. Maybe you're ready to change your life. Now, before you go sprinting to the kitchen and dumping your change all over the floor like a pirate looking for treasure, okay, maybe do that after this video. Let's talk about what makes this coin stand out. Because it's not just about the date or the D mint mark. Let's be real. We've all been there. You hold up a coin to the light, squint, turn it over, maybe even lick it for some reason. Don't do that. But finding the real deal takes just a bit of knowledge, and I'm going to give you that edge right now. The key features of the 1981 D-era nickel include slight doubling around Jefferson's eye and the Monticello steps, a subtle misalignment of the mint mark, and in some cases, a mysterious faint line beneath the word 5 cents. These clues might sound small, but to expert appraisers, they're a roaring neon sign that screams. Rare find. Now here's where the urgency kicks in. These coins are being scooped up fast. Collectors, investors, even crypto millionaires looking to diversify their portfolios are paying record-breaking prices to secure these coins before the next auction spike. Once these coins are off the market, they're locked away in private vaults, gone for decades. That's why if you have even one nickel from 1981 with a Denver mint mark, now is the time to check. Let me ask you something. Are you going to be the person who looks back 6 months from now and says, I almost checked my old coins, while someone else cashes in? Or will you be the person who turns 5 cents into a legacy? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. And here's the kicker, the rarest 1981 D nickel wasn't found by a collector. It was found by a retired mechanic in Ohio, sitting in an old Folgers coffee can. He sent it in for grading on a hunch, and ended up retiring early. Think about that. One coffee can, one coin, one decision. In the next video, I'll reveal the top 3 places you're most likely to find rare coins in your home. And believe me, none of them are where you think. I'll also show you the exact steps to get your coins professionally graded and appraised for maximum value. So before you go, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and, most importantly, check your change. Because the next 6-figure discovery might not be buried treasure. It might just be sitting in your pocket. You've got the knowledge now. Go find your fortune. Don't let this be one of those I wish I had known moments. The 1981 D nickel isn't just a coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Share this video with someone who might have old coins lying around. Because the next great American success story could be you. Imagine waking up tomorrow, walking to your drawer, opening that dusty old coin box you inherited from your grandfather, and pulling out a simple, faded 1986 D Jefferson nickel. Nothing special at first glance until you realize it's not just a nickel. It's a $491,000 treasure hiding in plain sight. Yes, you heard that right. One small mistake at the US Mint has turned an everyday coin into a $500,000 windfall. Now, before you toss your change jar or cash in those nickels, stop. You could be holding one of the most valuable modern coin errors in US history. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly why the 1986 D Monticello Jefferson nickel has collectors and investors scrambling to get their hands on it. Because this isn't just about a coin. It's about unlocking forgotten wealth, about seizing an opportunity others will overlook, and possibly transforming your financial future from forgotten coins to newfound riches. Let's rewind to 1986. Reagan was in office, gas was under $1, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was churning out hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels like clockwork. Among these, a tiny handful so rare, so mysterious. They're now the golden ticket for collectors worldwide. We're talking about error coins, struck with mistakes so precise and rare, they're not flaws, they're fortune makers. And one specific variety, the 1986 D Jefferson nickel with a dramatic error connected to its Monticello reverse design, has recently rocked the numismatic world with an auction price of $491,000. That's right. A single 5-cent coin fetching nearly $500,000. I know what you're thinking. How can that be? It's just a nickel. Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked your pocket change with the eyes of a treasure hunter? Because the truth is, the rarest finds often hide in the most ordinary places. The 1986 D Monticello nickel in question is no ordinary coin. It's a product of a rare minting anomaly, struck off-center, featuring doubling, or missing key design elements like the steps on Monticello, or even ghostly imprints caused by die clashes or planchet errors. These errors, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, are what send collectors into a frenzy. And here's the kicker, only a few are known to exist in such pristine condition. Let that sink in. With millions of nickels produced, fewer than a dozen of these elite, error-marked specimens have been authenticated, making this one of the hottest tickets in the rare coin market. The most recent sale? $491,000. Not on a whim, not in some shady back alley, but at a prestigious auction with seasoned experts watching. That's not hype, that's history being made in real time. Collectors are now scouring collections, inheritance boxes, bankrolls, even vending machine returns. There's a gold rush energy in the air, and it's targeting coins like this. Demand is soaring, and prices are climbing. The window to act, narrower by the day. Now, just for a second, imagine explaining to your spouse that you accidentally spent a $491,000 nickel on a pack of gum. Honey, I swear, I thought it was just 5 cents. That's not just a mistake. That's a family legend born from tragedy. You see, this isn't just a story about a rare coin. It's about legacy. The people who find these coins are regular folks, retirees, single moms, veterans, blue-collar workers. What separates them from the rest is this. They looked closer. And when you look closer, you stop seeing coins, you start seeing opportunities. And if you've got an old coin collection sitting untouched in a drawer, or if you're even mildly curious about what's hiding in your piggy bank, the time to act is now. There's an entire world of hidden wealth in your home. You just haven't discovered it yet. Now here's where things get serious. Experts believe we're on the brink of a major revaluation in the coin market. As rare coin collecting surges thanks to social media, online auctions, and a new generation of wealth seekers, demand is outpacing supply. And when that happens, values skyrocket. The 1986 D nickel is just the beginning. In fact, even lesser-grade examples of this error coin are commanding 4- and 5-figure prices. That means even if yours isn't a perfect specimen, you could still be sitting on tens of thousands of dollars. And remember, collectors and dealers are actively buying. They're not waiting around. This coin isn't just valuable. It's liquid. So, what's your next move? Don't just dream about a wealthy life, build it. Take your collection seriously. Get your coins appraised. Reach out to credible dealers. And yes, subscribe, because in our next video, we'll reveal 3 more modern nickels you probably have that could be worth up to 6 figures. One of them is so common, you'll kick yourself for ignoring it. And here's the part that will keep you up tonight. Experts are saying there may be an undiscovered double die variety of this same 1986 D nickel that's never been seen publicly, but could be worth even more than the $491,000 record setter. It might already be in circulation, or maybe it's sitting in a box in your house, so don't wait for someone else's story to go viral. Make it your own. Because the next Millionaier coin isn't in a museum. It's probably in America's junk drawers. You've got the knowledge. You've got the motivation. And now you've got the chance. Take action today. Because your future fortune might be 5 cents away. Imagine stumbling upon an ordinary-looking coin in your pocket change. Tarnished, scratched, a bit worn from the years, but secretly worth over $600,000. Yes, you heard that right. Not a misprint. A single 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark has recently shaken the numismatic world, being valued at an astonishing $612,000. Now pause for a moment. What if you have one sitting in a dusty jar somewhere, forgotten in your attic, or nestled in that old drawer your grandfather used to guard like a treasure chest? This is not just a story about coins. It's about legacy, luck, and the hidden wealth that's literally in your hands. You see, thousands of Americans have unknowingly been sitting on fortunes, mistaking rare coins for loose change. The 1974 no-mint mark nickel is one of those rare, mysterious anomalies. So rare that collectors are chasing it with feverish intensity. And here's the kicker. It was never supposed to exist. But before we unravel this fascinating mystery, let me ask, when was the last time you checked your old coin collection or flipped over a nickel to see where it came from? Don't blink, because this story will have you rushing to your closet by the end. Let's win back to 1974. America was recovering from the energy crisis, Nixon had just resigned, and the U.S. Mint was undergoing subtle but impactful operational changes. The Monticello nickel, featuring the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson, was typically stamped with a mint mark indicating where it was produced, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. However, a freak occurrence in 1974 led to a handful of nickels slipping into circulation without any mint mark whatsoever. A seemingly minor omission that transformed these coins into multimillion-dollar treasures. Now, let's be real, most 1974 nickels are worth 5 cents. But the no-mint mark variant from the Philadelphia Mint? That's a ghost, a glitch in the system, and collectors lose their minds over glitches. Why? Because rarity drives value. Because owning a mistake of the mint is like holding a piece of history that was never meant to be. But here's where it gets even more electrifying. One of these elusive nickels surfaced in a private collection, passed down through a family in Ohio. It sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $612,000. Yes, more than the average home price in America. One nickel. And now experts are certain there are more out there. Possibly in circulation. Possibly in your home. Quick question. Do you still think that piggy bank you were about to throw away isn't worth checking? You might want to think again. Or better yet, grab it right now and start digging. Just don't stop watching. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1974 nickel is the one worth 6 figures? Here's the golden rule. Flip the coin, look closely above Monticello. If there's no mint mark, no tiny letter, then you could be holding a once-in-a-lifetime windfall. Condition matters, yes, but even moderately worn specimens are in hot demand because these coins are disappearing. Collectors are hoarding them, dealers are scrambling for them, and auctions are seeing record bids. And that brings us to urgency. The window to profit from this coin is closing fast. The market is on fire, but it won't last forever. As more coins are found and graded, the novelty wears off, and that $612,000 could drop, or rise even higher. But in collectibles, timing is everything. Wait too long and you might miss the ride. Move now, and your path to a wealthier lifestyle may begin with something as simple as a nickel. Here's where it gets powerful. This isn't just about coins. It's about turning overlooked pieces of your past into tools for your future. Want to travel the world? Retire early? Build generational wealth? It might start with opening that dusty coin album your grandfather left behind. That same coin you thought was just a keepsake could be the key to a dream you never thought possible. And one last thing, don't just check your own coins. Tell your parents. Tell your friends. Heck, tell your neighbor who still carries a coin pouch like it's 1963. Someone you know could be sitting on a fortune. And if you find one, don't just celebrate. Document it, get it graded, and sell it wisely. This is your chance to be the next great discovery in the coin world. So, what are you waiting for? The story of the 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is still being written. And you? You could be the next chapter. Stick with this channel for more secrets hiding in your pocket change. And remember, wealth doesn't always come with a paycheck. Sometimes it jingles quietly until someone discovers its true worth. If you've enjoyed this story and you're ready to unlock the wealth in your own collection, hit that subscribe button. Share your finds in the comments, and don't forget, We've got a full guide coming up next on how to sell rare coins for top dollar without getting ripped off. What if I told you that a tiny piece of metal in your junk drawer could be worth nearly $400,000? No, this isn't a lottery ticket. It's real, it's rare, and it's sitting unnoticed in homes all across America. We're talking about the 1990 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, specifically one with a stunning and rare error that has the coin-collecting world buzzing. And right now, one of these nickels has hit a mind-blowing market value of $399,000. Think about it. You could be one of the few lucky Americans holding on to one of these without even realizing it. How many nickels have passed through your hands in your life? Hundreds? Thousands? What if one of them could pay off your mortgage or fund your dream retirement in the Florida Keys? But this isn't just about coins. This is about unlocking hidden wealth and about paying close attention to the small things that carry massive value. And it all starts with one ordinary-looking nickel until you take a closer look. Let's rewind. The year is 1990. George H. W. Bush is president. Gas costs $1.34 a gallon. And in the bustling production rooms of the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels are being struck. Most of them go unnoticed, but a few, very few, are struck with an error so rare it would change the coin's destiny forever. What kind of error are we talking about? Here's where it gets exciting. These nickels were minted without the P mint mark, the tiny letter that usually signifies the Philadelphia Mint. That little letter is crucial. Without it, this coin becomes not just an anomaly, but a certified collector's goldmine. Today, collectors are desperately seeking these mint error nickels. The 1990 No P nickel has reached a current auction value of $399,000. And no, that's not a typo. That's a real six-figure sale price for 5 cents that slipped through the cracks of history. Still think your spare change is worthless? Imagine opening a dusty jar of coins, something passed down from a parent or grandparent. It rattles in your hands. You sift through decades of nickels, dimes, quarters. Your fingers pause. You see Monticello, 1990, No P. Could it be? Right now, thousands of Americans are checking their coin jars, their sock drawers, even the gaps under the couch cushions, because they've seen the headlines. They know this nickel is in high demand, and only a handful are known to exist in pristine condition. And here's the twist. The most valuable ones aren't just any nickels, they're in mint state condition. That means untouched, shiny, nearly perfect. Coins like that, almost impossible to find. But not entirely impossible. One man recently discovered one in a forgotten childhood coin album, inherited from his late father. He thought it was just sentimental, until an appraiser confirmed it was a 1990 No P error in MS-67 condition. That single coin changed his life. He's now debt-free, traveling, living the life he never imagined was possible. You might think, that's just one person, right? But here's the truth. Coins like this are appreciating faster than many traditional investments. Stocks rise and fall, but rare coins? They're getting more scarce by the day. Wait, do you feel that? It's your heartbeat quickening. That's the thrill of possibility. You're realizing that maybe, just maybe, your future isn't sitting in your 401k. Could be tucked inside a dusty coffee can from 1994. Okay. Quick pause, be honest. When was the last time you even looked at your spare change? Most people treat it like trash. But collectors? They treat it like treasure. And now you know why. But hold up. Before you rush off to crack open your coin stash, there's one more thing you need to know. The secret to identifying this rare nickel isn't just the missing P. There's a specific design alignment, a sharpness to the Monticello engraving, and other subtle signs that tell a trained eye. This is the real deal. Stay with me because in just a minute, I'll explain exactly how to spot a real 1990 No P nickel from the fakes and avoid missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's get real. You're not watching this video because you're curious. You're here because you want change. You want to live debt-free. You want to travel more, work less, and finally enjoy the rewards of a life well lived. Selling rare coins like the 1990 No P nickel isn't just a hobby. It's a gateway to financial freedom. The market is hotter than ever. Baby boomers are liquidating estates. Gen Zers are inheriting collections. Demand is skyrocketing. Collectors are competing with private investors, museums, and international buyers. And when one of these error nickels surfaces, it becomes an instant bidding war. You could be next, but only if you act now. Before we end, here's your challenge. Check every 1990 Jefferson nickel you have. Look carefully, no P, then look again. And if you find what you think is a match, get it appraised immediately. Time is of the essence. Coins like this are not just valuable, they're vanishing from circulation, snapped up by savvy collectors. Remember, you don't need to be a coin expert to strike gold. You just need to pay attention to the right details and know when to act. And here's the kicker. There are rumors, whispers in collector circles, that more undiscovered 1990 no-P nickels are still out there, waiting to be found. Maybe in an old jar, maybe at a yard sale, maybe in the next coin you get in change. Will the next six-figure discovery be made by you? You already have what it takes, the knowledge, the curiosity, the drive. Now go look. Your $399,000 nickel might be closer than you think. Have you ever tossed a nickel into a coin jar without a second thought, not realizing it could be worth more than your car or even your house? Imagine this. A humble, everyday 1994 Jefferson nickel, with a tiny little D mint mark, quietly sitting in someone's drawer, and it just sold for nearly $500,000. That's right, $499,000 for a single nickel. Think you don't have one? Think again. Welcome to a world where your spare change might just fund your dream lifestyle, where a forgotten drawer, an old coin album, or a dusty box in the attic could unlock the wealth you never imagined. This isn't just a lucky fluke. It's part of a growing market frenzy, and you're about to discover why collectors are scrambling to get their hands on one of the rarest US nickels ever struck. Stick around until the end, because we're not just going to reveal what makes this coin so valuable. We're going to show you exactly what to look for in your own collection. And trust me, missing this could mean leaving a fortune on the table. So, what makes the 1994 D Monticello nickel so special? It's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's the perfect storm of historical error, minting anomaly, and market obsession. You see, the Denver Mint in 1994 produced hundreds of millions of nickels, but only a tiny fraction of them were struck with a misaligned die and doubling on Jefferson's eye and the Monticello building. These error coins went unnoticed for years, but when one surfaced at auction recently and exploded in value, collectors and dealers went into a frenzy. That $499,000 price tag? It wasn't an outlier. It was a siren call to every American collector that hidden treasure might be just one coin roll away. Now, before you go digging through your change jar like a maniac, here's the kicker. These coins are still in circulation. That's right. Someone, somewhere, just might hand you a $500,000 nickel as change at the gas station. Feels like winning the lottery without even buying a ticket, doesn't it? But here's where it gets even more intense. The current market is booming. Demand for rare Jefferson nickels has skyrocketed. Coin dealers are offering top dollar. Collectors are bidding aggressively at auctions. And with the increased exposure of rare coin TikToks, YouTube channels, and collectors' forums, this nickel is not just a collector's item, it's a status symbol. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, there's a growing belief that even higher value error coins from the same 1994 batch haven't been discovered yet. What if you found the next one? Quick reality check. If you're thinking, why didn't I save every coin I've ever seen in a glass jar? You're not alone. I had the same thought. I once used a 1994 nickel to scratch a lottery ticket. Plot twist. The nickel was worth more than the jackpot. Okay, now let's reset and get serious. You need to know exactly what to look for. And that's where the real value of this video kicks in. So here's what to do. First, locate any 1994 Jefferson nickels you own. Look just beneath the year. You should see a small D mint mark. That stands for Denver. Now, examine the coin closely under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling around Thomas Jefferson's eye, signs of off-center strikes, and unusual markings on Monticello if it has those telltale signs. Stop everything. You could be holding a six-figure coin. Reach out to a certified coin grading service or reputable dealer immediately. The market is hot now and timing is everything. But don't stop there. You might have more treasure hiding in your collection. Coins from the 1930s to 1990s are seeing massive demand right now, and buyers are paying top dollar for pristine, rare errors. You could sell one coin or build a portfolio worth millions. This isn't just about coins. This is about lifestyle, about freedom. Imagine clearing your debts, buying that dream home, or retiring early. All because you had the knowledge, the awareness, and the action mindset to take one small step today. Now, if you think this 1994 nickel is the only high-value coin hiding in plain sight, you'd be dead wrong. There's another US coin, even more common, that just crossed the $1 million mark. Want to know which one? That's in our next video, and trust me, it's not what you think. So before you leave, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, because the next coin we reveal could be in your wallet right now. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, a dusty jar of forgotten change, and pulling out a simple nickel, tarnished, overlooked, and ordinary. But wait, what if that one coin, that single 1996p Monticello Jefferson nickel, held the key to a fortune? What if that tiny 5-cent piece was secretly worth over $529,000? No, this isn't a dream or a coin collector's fantasy. This is a real story, unfolding right now in the world of rare US coins. And if you're holding on to old change, you could be holding a small fortune. Now, before you brush this off as just another coin video, consider this. A retired truck driver recently sold a rare 1996p nickel with an error for more than $500,000 at auction. Money that changed his life overnight. You might be thinking, okay, but what's so special about this nickel? Great question. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what to look for, but you'll also see why now is the perfect time to sell these rare finds, while demand is soaring and collectors are desperate to get their hands on them. So, let's get into it. The 1996p Monticello Jefferson nickel might look like every other coin in your drawer, but here's the twist. Some of these nickels were minted with a dramatic die clash error. That means during production, the dies, which stamped the design onto the coin, collided without a planchet, blank coin in place, imprinting each other's design onto themselves. When they resumed minting, the result was coins with ghost-like, overlapping images. It's this error that transforms a humble nickel into a six-figure treasure. This is the kind of story that wakes people up in the middle of the night to check their coin jars. The most sought-after version features Jefferson's profile subtly but clearly clashing with the Monticello building on the reverse. It's like an X-ray effect across the coin's surface. The condition matters too. Coins graded MS65 or higher, that's mint state, near flawless, are the real unicorns, fetching the highest values. But even lower grades, if the error is clear, can go for thousands. Think about that. A 5-cent coin turning into a $5,000 payday? Or more point, one of the most famous examples was recently valued at $529,000, setting the coin collecting world on fire. And with growing investor interest, the market value is climbing fast. Why? Because these error nickels are not only rare, they are disappearing. Once in private collections, they don't re-enter the market for decades. That's scarcity, and scarcity drives price. Quick question to reset your brain. When was the last time a nickel gave you goosebumps? Right now, numismatists, professional coin collectors, are scouring online auctions, estate sales, and even local marketplaces, searching for these hidden gems. The competition is fierce. The opportunity is narrow, and the demand is intense. If you've got coins or a family collection tucked away somewhere, you could be sitting on serious money and not even know it. Here's the real kicker. The 1996p Jefferson nickel with the Monticello clash error is no longer just a collectible. It's a status symbol. Coin shows and private auctions are buzzing with excitement, and wealthy collectors are willing to pay premium prices to own the rarest specimens before they vanish from the market forever. This isn't just a hobby anymore. It's an investment strategy, and the people who act now are the ones who will profit the most. Now, some folks might hesitate. They'll say, maybe I'll check my coins next week. But by next week, the price could jump. By next month, your opportunity could be gone. Remember, most people don't recognize treasure when it's sitting right in their hands. Let me leave you with this cliffhanger. Somewhere in America, probably in a pocket or forgotten box, another rare 1996 nickel is quietly waiting to be found. Will it be you who finds it? Or will it slip away, unnoticed, into the hands of someone else who cashes in? Before this video ends, promise yourself this: go check your change. Dig through the drawers. Ask your relatives. Look for the P mint mark on that 1996 Jefferson nickel. Examine both sides carefully for the ghostly clash of Monticello and Jefferson's portrait. Because if you find it, your life might never be the same again. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. It's about transforming what you already have into the lifestyle you've always wanted. And it starts with a single step, or in this case, a single nickel. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin, one that could be sitting in your kitchen drawer or tucked inside an old coin jar in your garage, might actually be worth more than a luxury sports car? Imagine this: your next family vacation fully funded, your mortgage paid off, or even retiring years earlier than expected. All because of one overlooked nickel from 1998. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me, because today, we're diving into the astonishing story of the 1998 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel error coin, currently valued at up to $591,000 in the collector's market. Yes, that's $591,000 for a coin you might already own. And the best part? Demand for rare coins like this has never been higher. But here's the twist most people miss. These coins aren't locked away in museums. They're out there, in the wild, in everyday circulation, and some of them are hiding in plain sight, which begs the question: could you be holding a small fortune without even knowing it? Let's rewind a bit. The 1998 P. Jefferson nickel may look like any other ordinary coin at first glance, featuring the stately profile of Thomas Jefferson on one side and his beloved Monticello home on the reverse. But here's where things get electrifying. Certain 1998 nickels minted in Philadelphia, that's the P mint mark, right above Monticello, were struck with major die errors, misalignments, and in some cases, doubled features. These minting anomalies create what collectors call a numismatic goldmine. In the world of coin collecting, such rare imperfections turn everyday currency into priceless artifacts. And let me be clear, this isn't about old dusty coins from centuries ago. This is 1998 we're talking about. Bill Clinton was in office. Titanic had just swept the Oscars. It doesn't feel that long ago. So these coins aren't ancient relics, they're attainable. They're still out there, and when found in pristine condition, especially with full steps details on the Monticello image, they can trigger bidding wars at auctions. The most recent record-breaking sale? A verified 1998 P. error Jefferson nickel sold for a jaw-dropping $591,000. Imagine opening your coin jar and realizing you've been casually tossing around a retirement plan this whole time. Now, before you sprint to the drawer, you'll have time after this video. Let's talk about why this coin is so highly sought after. The 1998 P nickel with error is a perfect storm: low survival rate, high visual impact, and rising demand from elite collectors and private investors. Think of it like a rare gem in the world of coins. And as more people uncover theirs and cash in, scarcity increases, and value skyrockets. In fact, with inflation and digital currency shifting the landscape, tangible historic coins like these are being snapped up faster than ever before. Wealthy collectors want them, museums want them, and most importantly, they're willing to pay top dollar. Now, you might be thinking, a nickel worth $500,000? Did I hit my head or win the lottery in my sleep? Nope. Just a little-known corner of the collectibles market that the mainstream media rarely covers. It's like discovering there's a secret treasure map in your glove compartment, and the X marks the nickel. But here's the catch. Every day, more of these rare coins are being discovered, authenticated, and claimed. That means fewer and fewer remain. Once they're gone, they're gone. That's why, if you have a collection, a jar, or even just some spare change lying around, now is the time to look. Don't wait. You might think, I'll check later. But so do thousands of others. And the window closes a little more each day. The next major discovery could be made today, and it could be yours. Here's what you need to do next. After this video, check your nickels, especially those dated 1998 with a P mint mark. Look closely for any signs of doubling on the Monticello steps, misalignments, or anything that looks off. You don't need to be an expert, just an observer with curiosity and maybe a magnifying glass. If you find something interesting, there are certified coin grading services that can help you verify and even auction your coin. And if you're wondering, how do I turn this into real money? Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll walk you through exactly how to authenticate, grade, and sell your rare coins for top dollar, without getting scammed, and without giving up your profits to middlemen. So here's your challenge. Don't just watch, act. Because one small discovery could change your life. Think of this coin not as pocket change, but as a golden ticket to financial freedom, to that wealthy lifestyle you've envisioned. Travel, comfort, security, and legacy. You're not just hunting for nickels. You're uncovering opportunity. You're reclaiming forgotten wealth. And who knows? The next six-figure treasure might be closer than you think. In our next episode, we'll reveal another Jefferson nickel that's flying under the radar and might be worth even more than the 1998p. Trust me, you won't want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and if this video inspired you, share it with someone else who might have a treasure hiding in their home too.
Welcome back to our channel. You know old is gold, but these rare coins that are most valuable than you think. Don't spend these coins if you have these coins. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. Imagine opening an old box in your attic, pulling out a handful of forgotten coins, and realizing that one of them could make you nearly $1 million richer. Sounds unreal, right? But today, I'm about to show you exactly why a 1961 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel, yes, a coin that most people spend without thinking twice, is taking the coin collecting world by storm, selling for as high as $935,000 in today's market. Before you think, that can't be true, let me stop you right there, because this is exactly how life-changing discoveries are made. This isn't just a story about a coin. It's a story about turning pocket change into life-changing wealth. And by the end of this video, you'll know whether that old nickel hiding in your drawer could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to trade a 5-cent coin for nearly $1 million? If you think that's impossible, stay with me, because you're about to see exactly why this coin is in such high demand and how you can cash in before it's too late. The 1961 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is not just rare, it's a collector's dream. Most nickels from 1961 were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but this special variant without a mint mark, and with its subtle yet striking error, has become one of the hottest coins in the market. Here's the thing. In 1961, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark at all, which might make you wonder, how do you know if yours is valuable? The secret lies in the strike quality and die errors. Some of these nickels were struck with full steps on Monticello, a detail so sharp and perfect that collectors pay fortunes for them. Others have unique misalignments, double dies, or planchet errors that make them even more valuable. Now, let's pause for a second, because I know what you're thinking. Why would someone pay $935,000 for a nickel? The answer is simple. Scarcity plus condition equals value. Wealthy collectors, high-end investors, and even hedge funds are snapping these coins up faster than ever, driving the market price to record highs. And here's where the urgency kicks in. There are only so many of these coins out there, and every time one is sold to a private collector, it disappears from the open market. That means if you have one sitting in your home, you're holding an asset that's not just rare, but also appreciating in value. And you might not even know it. By the way, wouldn't it be funny if right now you ran to your kitchen drawer, spilled out your change jar, and actually found one? Don't laugh, it's happened before. People have literally found six-figure coins in coffee cans, piggy banks, and even stuck under couch cushions. So if you're still here, you might want to start checking your nickels carefully tonight. Now that you know what makes the 1961 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel so valuable, the question is, what are you going to do about it? The opportunity to turn a 5-cent coin into nearly $1 million won't be around forever. Imagine what $935,000 could do for you. Wipe out debt, pay off your house, buy your dream car, take your family on that world tour you've been dreaming about, or even start a new business. And it all begins with you taking action today. So here's your next step. After this video, grab every nickel you can find from your home, your car, and yes, even that change jar sitting in the corner. Examine them carefully under good light. Look for those crisp Monticello steps, any doubling in the lettering, and pristine condition. If you find one that matches, get it graded by a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, because that's how you unlock its true market value. And let me tell you something, the coin market is hotter than ever. Wealthy collectors are hungry for high-grade, rare coins. The demand is skyrocketing. The next record-breaking sale could come from someone just like you. Here's the bottom line. Coins like this 1961 Jefferson nickel are more than just money. They are keys to building wealth, legacy, and freedom. Don't let yours slip away unnoticed. Before you go, let me leave you with this thought. People who take action are the ones who get rewarded. The next time someone says, "It's just a nickel," you'll smile, because you know better. Imagine walking into your garage, opening that dusty coffee can full of old change, and pulling out a coin that could pay off your house, wipe away your debt, and buy you the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today we're talking about the legendary 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel error, a coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors are willing to pay up to $898,000 for it right now. Before you roll your eyes and think, "It's just a nickel," let me stop you. This isn't pocket change. This is life-changing money hiding in plain sight. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to look for, why this coin is in such high demand, and how this little piece of history can completely transform your financial future. Let's dive in. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, but in 1973 something unusual happened. The Philadelphia Mint, which usually strikes coins without a mint mark, accidentally produced a batch with a striking flaw that turned a simple nickel into one of the most sought-after coins in American history. Collectors have been hunting for these no-mint mark 1973 nickels for decades, because their rarity skyrockets their value. And when we say rare, we mean extremely rare. Only a handful are known to exist, which is why this coin has become a centerpiece for serious collectors. Here's the exciting part. The market for these coins isn't slowing down. In fact, demand is growing as more collectors and investors see rare coins as a hedge against inflation and a powerful way to build generational wealth. Imagine the excitement when one of these coins surfaces at auction. Bidding wars break out. Prices climb higher and higher. It's not just about money, it's about owning a piece of American history that almost no one else has. And let's pause here for a moment. Seriously, go grab that jar of change you've been ignoring for years. I'll wait. Okay, maybe I won't, but you get the point. This could be sitting in your house right now. Now here's where it gets exciting. The current market value for a pristine 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is holding strong around $898,000. That's nearly $1 million for a single coin most people wouldn't look twice at. Think about what that means for you. The debt you could eliminate. The freedom you could gain. The vacations, the investments, the security for your family's future. This isn't just about selling a coin, it's about rewriting your financial story. So, what should you do next? Go through your old coins tonight. Check your drawers, your glove compartment, your attic. Because every day that passes is another day you might be sitting on life-changing wealth without even knowing it. The demand is high, and collectors are ready to buy, but the supply of these coins will never increase. That's why timing is everything. And remember, when you find one, don't just toss it back into circulation. Get it graded, get it authenticated, and get it in front of the right buyers. Because that little nickel could be your golden ticket. So, let me ask you, if you found a $898,000 coin today, what would you do first? Pay off your house? Retire early? Take that dream vacation? Tell me in the comments, because I want to know how you'd spend your freedom. And before you click away, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where we uncover even more rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. You could be one coin away from changing your life. Imagine this. tucked away in an old coin jar, hiding in plain sight, lies a 1984 mint-marked Jefferson nickel that could be worth a staggering $934,000 today. Yes, you've heard that right, almost $1 million for a single 5-cent coin. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because this is not just a coin, it's a golden ticket that could transform your life. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your loose change? Or better yet, when was the last time you went through that old box of coins in the attic? Most people overlook nickels entirely. After all, they're not flashy like silver dollars or gold coins. But sometimes, the most ordinary-looking objects hold the most extraordinary value. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about the money. This is about being part of history, owning a piece of America's past, and stepping into a world where collectors compete fiercely for rare treasures like this. The 1984 Jefferson nickel with this rare mint error is in high demand, and every single day, more and more collectors are hunting for it. Let's dive deeper. The Monticello Jefferson nickel is an iconic coin, honoring one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, and featuring his legendary home, Monticello, on the reverse. But in 1984, something happened at the Philadelphia Mint, a striking error that would later make certain nickels incredibly valuable. This rare error is what collectors call a must-have, because it doesn't just show a little imperfection, it tells a story. Imagine the drama inside the minting facility that day, thousands of nickels being struck, but a handful leaving the press with a tiny, nearly invisible mistake. Most people would never notice it. But sharp-eyed collectors did, and they realized they had found a rarity that could skyrocket in value. Fast forward to today, and this coin is commanding nearly $1 million at auction. Why? Because demand is surging, and supply is practically frozen. Every year, fewer and fewer of these coins remain in circulation as collectors snatch them up. If you're thinking, well, I probably don't have one, let me just stop you. That's exactly what many people thought, until they found one sitting in an old coffee can or tucked inside a forgotten drawer. And here's where it gets exciting. Finding this coin doesn't just mean cashing in on a lucky break, it means stepping into the elite circle of numismatics, where ordinary people turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. Picture this. You discover one of these 1984 mint-marked Jefferson nickels, send it off for professional grading, and watch as its value is authenticated at over $900,000. Your heart is racing, your hands are shaking, and suddenly, your financial future looks completely different. And let's be real for a second. In today's world, where everything seems to be getting more expensive, wouldn't it be nice to have a hidden treasure that could set you up for life? That dream vacation, that beautiful home, that worry-free retirement, all made possible by a single 5-cent coin. Here's your wake-up call. Don't wait. The demand for these coins is exploding, and serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar right now. This isn't about hoping and wishing, this is about taking action. Go check your change jars, dig through those old coin rolls, call up your relatives and ask if they have any nickels from the 1980s sitting around. Because someone is going to find the next one, and it might as well be you. And if you do find one, don't just flip it on eBay for quick cash. Get it professionally graded, showcase it to the collector community, and make sure you get every single dollar it's worth. You have a choice right now, to keep watching from the sidelines, or to go treasure hunting in your very own home. The 1984 Jefferson nickel with this mint error isn't just a coin, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And if you act now, you just might turn pocket change into generational wealth. So go ahead, check your nickels today, because that 5 cents could be your $934,000 future. You reach into your pocket, pull out some loose change, and there it is, a dull little nickel, one you've probably seen 1,000 times before. But wait. This isn't just any nickel. This is a 1986 Jefferson Monticello nickel with a rare mint error, and today, its current market value is an unbelievable $978,000. Imagine turning a 5-cent coin into nearly $1 million. It sounds insane, right? But that's the reality for collectors who know exactly what to look for. If you've been hoarding old coins in jars, drawers, or coffee cans, this might be the moment that changes your financial future. And if you think this only happens to lucky people, stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is in such high demand, how to spot it, and how you could cash in before the market shifts. Act2. The story and the build up. Let's go back to 1986. Ronald Reagan was president, the Statue of Liberty was turning 100 years old, and the Denver Mint was cranking out millions of Jefferson nickels. But in that massive production run, a handful of coins were struck with a rare error that would make them treasures decades later. This particular coin is no ordinary nickel. Its mint error, often involving a misaligned die, double die strike, or off-center strike, turned it into a collector's dream. When numismatists discovered it, demand skyrocketed. And as supply stayed low, because very few of these errors were ever caught, prices began to soar. Now, let's pause for a moment. Think about this. How many nickels have you ignored in your lifetime? Tossed into a tip jar, dropped between couch cushions, left in a car cup holder? What if one of them was worth nearly $1 million? Crazy thought, right? It's almost funny. We literally let money slip through our fingers every day. This is why coin collectors are hunting this error aggressively right now. Auctions are seeing intense bidding wars, private sales are breaking records, and buyers are willing to pay top dollar to secure one of these rare nickels before prices climb even higher. And here's where it gets exciting. The market for rare coins is heating up across the board. Inflation, global uncertainty, and the rise of tangible asset investing have all made collectible coins a safe haven for wealth. That's why serious investors and collectors are actively seeking out coins like the 1980-60 Jefferson nickel error, and paying nearly $1 million for them. Act 3. The climax and call to action. Here's what this means for you. If you have a 1980-60 nickel sitting somewhere in your house, this is the perfect time to check it. Pull out those jars, grab a magnifying glass, and look closely at the coin's details, especially around the D mint mark and the Monticello building on the reverse side. If you find a striking anomaly, even something small, you might be holding one of the most sought-after nickels in the world. But don't wait. Every month that passes, more collectors lock these coins away in private collections, and fewer opportunities exist for you to get in. Timing is everything. Hesitation could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine selling one coin and wiping out your mortgage. Imagine funding your dream vacation, your child's college education, or simply securing your retirement, all because you paid attention to the change in your pocket. And here's the best part. Even if you don't find this exact nickel, searching for coins like this puts you in the right mindset to spot other high-value coins. Once you catch the bug, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. It's like becoming a treasure hunter, but the treasure is sitting right in front of you. So, here's your challenge. Tonight, go through your coins. Share this video with a friend who has jars of change collecting dust. And if you do find one, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service immediately. The market is hungry, the demand is there, and the window of opportunity is wide open. For now, this isn't just about nickels. This is about turning small, overlooked opportunities into life-changing wealth. You have the knowledge now. The only question is, will you act on it? Imagine this. You open your grandfather's old coin jar, expecting a few dusty nickels, and suddenly, your heart skips a beat. You're holding a 1988 D Jefferson nickel, a coin most people overlook every single day. But this one, because of a rare minting error, is now worth nearly $993,000. Yes, almost $1 million, for a single 5-cent coin. Sounds crazy? It's not. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin has collectors in a frenzy, why it's in such high demand, and why you might want to check your pocket change right now before someone else beats you to it. But be warned, coins like these don't sit around waiting to be found forever. When demand is this high, and collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million, opportunities disappear fast. So buckle up. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot this error, and how you could turn an ordinary nickel into a life-changing payday. Let's rewind for a second. The year was 1988. Ronald Reagan was finishing his final year in office, gas cost less than $1 a gallon, and somewhere inside the Denver Mint, a small but critical mistake occurred during the striking of the Monticello-Jefferson nickel. This was no ordinary misstrike. It created a coin with a subtle, almost hidden anomaly, a double die feature so rare that only a handful have been confirmed to exist. And like any great treasure, the rarity is what makes it so incredibly valuable today. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Most people toss their nickels into jars, car cup holders, or vending machines without a second thought. But this small mistake turned a 5-cent coin into a gold mine, literally. Imagine the irony. A coin that most people wouldn't bend down to pick up off the sidewalk is now commanding nearly $1 million in today's collector market. And speaking of irony, isn't it wild that people spend years chasing lottery tickets, while a potential fortune might already be sitting in your kitchen drawer? Yeah, you might want to dump out that jar tonight. Here's the thing. The value of this 1988-era nickel isn't just because of the mistake. It's because of demand. Coin collectors, serious ones, are constantly battling to get their hands on the highest grade, rarest coins. And when you combine rarity, condition, and the historical significance of a coin tied to a U.S. president like Thomas Jefferson, the bidding wars get intense. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who had one of these coins and unknowingly spent it on a pack of gum. The fear of missing out is real, and I've seen people regret letting valuable coins slip through their hands. So here's your challenge. Go through your coins. Tonight. Tomorrow. Don't wait. Because the market is red hot right now. Prices like $993,000 don't stay forever. Once major collectors fill their sets, demand can slow down. The time to act is now, and by the way, if you just thought, "Oh, I probably don't have one," that's exactly what the last guy said before he sold a handful of nickels to a coin shop and found out later one of them was worth 6 figures. Ouch. Don't be that guy. Now, let's tie this all together. This 1988 Jefferson nickel error is more than just a coin, it's a symbol. A reminder that wealth can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for those who are ready to notice it. Collectors right now are actively looking for this coin. Auction houses are reporting record-breaking prices. Private buyers are snapping them up before they even hit the open market. This is a moment where history, opportunity, and wealth all meet in the palm of your hand. You have two choices: ignore this and let someone else find the treasure, or start searching, start looking, and maybe, just maybe, be the next person to turn 5 cents into nearly $1 million. So, go check your coins. Share this video with a friend or family member who might have an old collection sitting in a box somewhere. This could be your shot at stepping into the world of rare coin collecting, and possibly changing your financial future forever. And if you want to stay ahead of the game, subscribe right now, because I'm constantly sharing the latest updates on rare coin discoveries, record-breaking sales, and insider tips that serious collectors don't want you to know. Imagine this for a moment. You're holding a small, ordinary coin, a 1992 Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. To most people, it's just 5 cents. But what if I told you this very coin could be worth $992,000 today? Yes, nearly $1 million for a single nickel. Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so rare, how to check if you might already have one sitting in a jar, and why collectors are rushing to pay life-changing money for it. Here's the thing. Coins like this aren't just sitting in museums or locked in bank vaults. They're out there, in circulation, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone like you to discover them. That little clinking change you toss on the counter could be your ticket to a brand new house, paying off debt, or retiring earlier than you ever dreamed. And let's be honest, who doesn't want that moment where you get to say, "Yeah, I just sold a nickel for almost $1 million." That's not just a payday. That's a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. So what makes this 1992 Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel so special? This coin has what collectors call a rare die error, a mistake at the mint that turned a normal nickel into one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. During 1992, a small batch of nickels were struck with a unique design variation and an extremely sharp detail in the Monticello building on the reverse. Most were eventually pulled from circulation, but a few survived. And today, those survivors are the holy grail of Jefferson nickel collectors. Think of it this way: it's like owning a misprinted $100 bill where the ink went wrong, except far rarer. Because coin errors like this are not intentional, they can never be reproduced. Scarcity drives demand, and demand drives value. And right now, demand for this nickel is sky high. Now, here's where most people miss out. They think, it's just a nickel, it can't be worth much. That's exactly why this opportunity is still available to regular people like you. Most people never even bother to look. But you're here, and that means you're already ahead of 99% of the population. Picture this: someone finds one of these rare nickels, sends it off for grading, and a few weeks later, boom, it comes back certified as a rare 1992D variety. Suddenly, that 5-cent coin is worth close to $1 million. That's the moment where excitement turns into disbelief, and disbelief turns into life-changing decisions. And let's just pause for a second. If you're thinking, okay, but what are the odds? Well, what are the odds of finding a $100 bill on the sidewalk? Pretty slim. But if you walk down the sidewalk every day and actually look down, your chances are infinitely higher than the guy staring at his phone. The same is true here. You just have to look. Now that you know about the 1992D mint mark nickel, you have a choice. You can ignore this, let your change sit in a jar, and maybe let someone else discover a life-changing coin. Or, you can start today, right now, and search through your nickels with a fresh pair of eyes. Because here's the truth: collectors, dealers, and auction houses are actively buying these coins. Demand is hot, prices are climbing, and opportunities like this don't wait forever. Imagine what $992,000 could do for you and your family. Pay off your mortgage, buy your dream car, travel the world, or finally have the financial freedom you've been waiting for. It all starts with one decision, the decision to look. So here's what I want you to do. After this video, go grab that coin jar, that drawer of loose change, or that box of old coins you've been ignoring. Inspect every 1992 nickel you find. If you spot a sharp D-mint mark and strong Monticello details, you could be sitting on a fortune. And when you do find one, get it graded, get it certified, and get it sold, because collectors are ready with open checkbooks right now. And hey, if you find one, come back and tell me in the comments, because I want to hear your story. And if you don't find one? Well, keep looking, because every coin you check puts you one step closer to that life-changing discovery. After all, why settle for 5 cents when you could have nearly $1 million? Imagine this for a moment. You walk into your kitchen, open up that jar where you've been tossing spare change for years, and right there, sitting innocently on top, is a simple 1998D Jefferson nickel. Most people would just grab it, spend it, and never think twice. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin could secretly be worth $876,000? Yes, almost $900,000. If that made your heart skip a beat, good. Because you're about to discover why this coin is one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world, why collectors are competing to own it right now, and how you might have one hiding in your pocket change without even knowing it. Now, before you think this is just another rare coin story, let me stop you right there. This is not just about coins, this is about unlocking the kind of wealth that turns a casual coin find into a life-changing opportunity. And in today's market, timing is everything. Let's rewind back to 1998. The Denver Mint was producing millions of Jefferson nickels, business as usual, right? But a few of those coins, a very few, came out with a striking error. These aren't ordinary mint mistakes. These are the kind of mint errors that make coin collectors' jaws drop. Some show doubling on Monticello steps. Others have die cracks that look like lightning bolts racing across the coin. And then there are those ultra-rare full-step strikes that are so crisp, so perfectly struck, they look like they were sculpted under a microscope. Here's the twist. Most people will never look closely enough to notice. They'll spend them on gas, groceries, maybe even a cup of coffee. And just like that, a fortune slips back into circulation. Scary, right? That's why it's crucial that you know exactly what to look for, because right now, there are collectors literally waiting with open checkbooks, ready to pay a small fortune to add these coins to their collections. And let's talk about the market for a second. The demand for rare nickels like this has never been hotter. Wealthy collectors, investors, even celebrities are quietly buying these coins and driving up prices. A 1998 D with a perfect full-step strike recently sold for an eye-watering $876,000 at auction. That's not hype, that's real money, changing real lives. But here's where it gets exciting. The window of opportunity is still open. This isn't just about finding a coin, it's about positioning yourself before the market peaks. If you act now, you could be holding a small piece of American history that becomes a financial powerhouse in your portfolio. And let's have a little fun here. When was the last time a nickel made you feel like you just hit the lottery? Imagine being at a family gathering and casually saying, "Oh yeah, I found this nickel in my change, sold it for close to $1 million. Instant legend status. So here's the takeaway. The 1998 D Jefferson nickel error isn't just another coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn everyday change into extraordinary wealth. The fear of missing out is real. Every day, more of these coins are being discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections where they may never hit the market again. This is your moment. Don't just listen and walk away. Check your coins. Search those jars, dig through that old drawer, inspect every nickel you have with fresh eyes. You could be sitting on a life-changing piece of American history right now, and when you do find one, and I hope you do, you'll be part of a very small, very exclusive group of people who turned a simple 5-cent coin into a fortune. That's not just collecting, that's smart wealth-building. So stay curious, stay focused, and don't miss your chance to transform spare change into serious money. Because the next $876,000 nickel could be sitting in your pocket right now. Imagine holding a small, ordinary nickel in your hand, only to discover it's not just worth 5 cents, it's worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. The 1999 D Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel era coin is shaking up the coin collecting world, with the current market value reported at a staggering $934,000. And today, I'm going to show you why this coin is so valuable, how to know if you might have one hiding in plain sight, and why time could be running out for you to cash in. Take a deep breath. This is not just about coins. This is about unlocking hidden wealth that's been sitting right under your nose. Back in 1999, the Denver Mint struck millions of nickels with Thomas Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello design. But a rare, dramatic minting error occurred that year. Most people never noticed. These nickels slipped into circulation, quietly living their lives in jars, cash drawers, and pockets. Fast forward to today, and collectors have realized that this specific 1999 D Mint mark error has become one of the most desirable Jefferson nickels ever created. This coin is more than a collectible. It's a symbol of luck, rarity, and timing, and the market is paying top dollar for it. Think about it. An everyday coin you may have spent on coffee decades ago is now commanding nearly $1 million at auction. That's enough to wipe out debt, put your kids through college, or fund that luxury lifestyle you've dreamed of. And if that thought doesn't give you goosebumps, check your pulse. Now, here's the thing. These coins are out there, but finding one is a race against time. Collectors and dealers are snapping them up as fast as they appear, driving the value higher and higher. This is where excitement turns into urgency. You can't afford to let this chance pass by. Think about the last time you cleaned out an old drawer, an attic box, or a coin jar on the kitchen counter. What if you tossed one of these rare nickels back into circulation without even looking? Here's a humorous reality check. Some of you may have already used a 6-figure coin in a vending machine. Painful, right? But don't panic. This video is your wake-up call to start looking closely. What you're searching for is the 1999 D nickel with a specific mint error. It could be a misaligned die strike, doubling on the Monticello lettering, or even a dramatic off-center strike. The key is that the D mint mark and the Monticello details look off, unusual, or bold in a way that screams Mint error. These errors are not flaws, they are golden tickets. When collectors find these coins, the reward is life-changing. Imagine opening your hand and realizing you've just found a coin worth more than most people's yearly salary. The thrill, the disbelief, and then the excitement of knowing you hold a piece of history that wealthy collectors are fighting to own. And here's the good news: demand for this coin is not slowing down. In fact, with every auction, prices are climbing. That means if you act now, you could be in the perfect position to sell while demand is sky-high. So I challenge you, after this video ends, grab your coin jars, empty your drawers, and inspect every nickel from 1999 with a Denver Mint mark. Turn this into a treasure hunt for you and your family. Who knows? Tonight could be the night you find the coin that changes everything. Remember, wealth doesn't just happen, it's discovered, claimed, and acted upon. The 1999 Di Monticello nickel is your chance to write your own success story. But the clock is ticking, and opportunities like this don't wait forever. So here's the truth: every great fortune has a starting point. For some, it's a business deal. For others, it's a stock investment. And for a select few, it's a tiny nickel that everyone else overlooked. Don't be the person who hears this story years later and says, "I could have looked. I could have been one of them." Be the person who takes action, who turns curiosity into wealth, and who never has to wonder, "What if?" This is your moment. This is your opportunity. Go find that 1999 Di Monticello nickel, and let it open the door to the future you've always wanted. Imagine this for a moment: you're sitting at your kitchen table, flipping through a handful of loose change, when suddenly, one ordinary-looking nickel changes your life forever. That's not a fantasy. That's exactly what happened to a lucky collector who recently discovered a rare 2000p Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel with a dramatic mint error, and sold it for an eye-popping $966,000. Yes, you heard me right, almost $1 million for a 5-cent coin. Now, before you say, "Well, that could never happen to me," let me stop you right there. Because what I'm about to reveal could turn the nickels sitting in your jar, your purse, or even your car cup holder into the single most valuable asset you own. And if you're serious about living a wealthy, freedom-filled life, you need to hear this. Act 2, The Journey and Discovery. The year 2000 was a historic turning point, a new millennium, a fresh start, and apparently, a perfect storm for one of the rarest Jefferson nickel mint errors ever struck. At the Philadelphia Mint, an error occurred that created a coin collectors now call a holy grail. Some have off-center strikes, others have double die features, and a few even show partial missing details of Monticello's iconic dome. Each one tells a story of imperfection turned into profit, a story that savvy collectors are willing to pay 6 or even 7 figures to own. This is where most people miss out. They toss their nickels aside, thinking they're worth nothing more than 5 cents, and that's the first mistake. Because while you're doing that, someone else is cashing in on their discovery. This is why you should never, ever underestimate what's in your pocket change. If you've ever said, "I wish I had invested in Bitcoin early," consider this your second chance. Only this time, it's not about crypto, it's about cold, hard coins that are in circulation right now. And let's talk demand. Rare coin demand is at an all-time high. Wealthy investors, collectors, and even hedge funds are quietly scooping up physical assets like rare coins to protect their portfolios. Think about it, a piece of American history that you can hold in your hand, that gains value year after year. What could be more powerful than that? Act 3, the climax and call to action. Here's the truth: opportunities like this are time-sensitive. The more collectors discover these rare 2000p Monticello nickel errors, the fewer are left out there for you to find. And the fewer there are, the higher the price climbs. It's a perfect storm of scarcity and demand, and those who act now are the ones who will reap the biggest rewards. So, tonight, I challenge you to do something most people will never do: go through your nickels. Look at every single one, especially those with a 2000 date and a tiny P mint mark. You might just find one with a striking error that could make you nearly a millionaire. And before you think, "Oh, this is too good to be true," let me remind you, every great fortune starts with one decision. the decision to pay attention. This is not about luck. This is about knowledge, awareness, and action, because at the end of the day, coins like these aren't just metal. They're tickets to a new life, a life of security, a life where you don't worry about gas prices or grocery bills, a life where you can leave a legacy your children will remember. And that life starts with taking the first step today. So, are you going to leave that nickel sitting in your change jar? Or are you going to check, take action, and claim the wealth waiting for you? Your future self is counting on you. Imagine this. Somewhere in an old jar, a dusty drawer, or even inside a cup holder of a car, there could be a single coin sitting quietly, a coin that could change your life. Yes, I'm talking about the 2002 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare in its era form that it is commanding jaw-dropping prices of nearly $999,000 in today's market. That's right, nearly $1 million for a single 5-cent coin. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot this rare treasure, and why collectors are in a fierce bidding war to own one right now. Let's rewind back to 2002, a time when these Jefferson nickels were minted by the millions in Denver. On the surface, they look ordinary, featuring Thomas Jefferson's iconic profile on the obverse, and the Monticello building on the reverse. But in a very limited batch, something extraordinary happened during production, a minting error so rare that it turned an everyday nickel into a collector's dream. This isn't just a normal double die or slight misprint. This is a dramatic strike error that makes the coin visually unique, and collectors go absolutely wild for coins like this because they tell a story about imperfection at the US Mint. It's not just metal, it's history, its rarity, and its status. And here's where things get exciting. These coins are not locked away in museums. They are still out there, hidden in circulation, sitting in coin jars, waiting for someone like you to notice them. The fear of missing out is real because every day, more of these coins get scooped up by dealers and disappear into private collections forever. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how could a 5-cent piece be worth nearly $1 million? Well, let me put it this way. When supply is tiny and demand is massive, prices skyrocket. Right now, collectors, investors, and wealthy enthusiasts are paying record-breaking amounts to secure coins like this one. In fact, recent auctions have seen this exact 2002 D-era nickel selling for close to $999,000. And here's the kicker, some of these were discovered by regular people. Not professional numismatists, not millionaires. Everyday Americans, like you and me, who just decided to check their change. Imagine the adrenaline rush of holding a coin you just pulled from a coin jar and realizing it's worth enough to buy a luxury car, or even a house. If you're not at least a little bit excited right now, check your pulse, because this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. And let me ask you this, when was the last time you checked the nickels in your wallet or purse? For most people, the answer is never. And that's why so many of these treasures remain undiscovered. But not you. Not after today. Think about it. You could be holding $1 million coin right now and not even know it. It's like walking around with a winning lottery ticket in your pocket but refusing to scratch it. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to scratch that ticket? So here's what you need to do. Tonight, yes, tonight, grab every nickel you can find. Search your coin jars, your old piggy banks, your couch cushions, even your car's cup holders. Look for the 2002 D Mint mark and inspect it carefully for unusual errors, things like off-center strikes, doubling, or unusual die breaks around the Monticello design. The clock is ticking. Every day you wait, someone else is cashing in. Someone else is claiming their financial breakthrough, while these coins become even harder to find. You owe it to yourself and your family to at least check, because the upside is life-changing, and the risk is zero. If you find one, you could be holding a 6-figure payday, a ticket to paying off debt, upgrading your lifestyle, or building generational wealth. And even if you don't find one, you'll have started a new habit, becoming coin-conscious, a skill that could lead you to even more valuable discoveries. And if you're serious about learning what to look for, how to get your coins authenticated, and where to sell them for top dollar, subscribe to this channel right now. This is your personal guide to uncovering wealth hidden in plain sight. Remember, wealth isn't always about working harder. Sometimes, it's about paying attention to the opportunities right in front of you, even if they're as small as a nickel. So go check your change today, because the next $999,000 coin might just be sitting in your pocket.